Welcome back to the shop. Thank you so much for stopping by. We have some things to talk about. There are some very exciting changes going on around the daily driveway here, and we gotta talk about some of them. But first, I gotta fix that light. How much better is that? That's so much better. It appears to be the same kind of light as the LED that's right next to it. It's the same color. That would have bothered me a lot. That's great. I also hung one right here in the center of the shop that lights the center of the shop so well. Let me tell you, there's really no such thing as a shop that's too bright. Get yourself some lights and hang them up. Now, with that out of the way, we've got some important stuff to talk about. Now, first up on the block to talk about, the van got a little bit of a new look. You can see I've got a roof basket up there now. I've got some proper crossbars that go all the way across the roof, attach at 2 points. This allowed me to mount this awning in a much more solid way. What it had before was some clamps that were just on this one side, and it would kind of wiggle going down the road. Hated it, didn't like it, didn't like the way it looked. I didn't like any of it. So we got a proper overland look. I might get a whittle wadder to put on the side too, just to get up in there. It's gonna be really great. I really do think it looks pretty cool. I'm happy with the way it went. The biggest driveway change that we have to talk about, I sold a parts car. Well, when I say I sold a parts car, I sold the parts car. I sold the parts car that also kind of night lighted as my daily driver. That's right. The black Fit, she's gone. She's gone away. What is the deal with that? Well, there's a couple of things here. For one, that car was bought for a specific purpose. It was bought because I got a job in Asheville and I was driving over 90 miles a day. Needed to be reliable, needed to get good gas mileage, and needed to be comfortable. So that's why that car was here to begin with. Now, the other thing that car did was let me compare the race car to it to see what's been cobbled together, what looks right, what did Mr. Honda do, like so on and so forth. I really did love that car. It was a fantastic car. It's a great daily driver, super comfortable, really quiet inside, got great gas mileage, got 34 miles per gallon no matter what I did with it or to it. And what some of you probably already know, I got a new job. I got a totally new job. I work from home full time now. I don't have to go anywhere. So that car really, its usefulness, we're past it. I didn't need it anymore as much as I like it. I love that car. I really didn't need it anymore. And so it's time for it to go. It's gonna go live a life with my best buddy. He can finally put his toddler-aged daughter in a car that is safe and good for her, and he also drives tons and tons of miles every single day, so it'll be really good for that. Now, my new job, I work for SCCA now. I'm a multi-channel marketing manager. I should know my own job title. Multi-channel marketing manager for SCCA. I'm really stoked to be back at SCCA. It feels like being home again. I think this time is going to be different. I've thoroughly enjoyed the work I've been doing so far. Stuff on YouTube, stuff, setting up all sorts of different things for SCCA, and I'm really stoked on it. It also means that I can spend more time at home. I'm not driving an hour, 2 hours every single day, and it allows me to free up some cash to spend on the race car, of course. What else are we doing around here? That extra cash to work with is super, super important because we are still budget racers around here. That allowed me to get this rack set up for the van to make it more comfortable and more useful for our purposes. So that's that. That's the daily update. Let's get into today's project. So what we've got for today's project is something I've been wanting to do to the race car for a really long time. The big center panel that is front and center in all of the in-car video. It's a bit of a mess. It's pretty ugly, and there's lots of holes from lots of past things, and I don't have what I really want on that center stack, so we're gonna fix that today. I've got a nice clean sheet of aluminum. I've got a radio install kit that comes already sort of cut out. We're gonna use this to mount the panel to, and the goals are to get a couple of things. One, within reach, and two, looking better. We've got my Cool Soup Cooler controller. I could get just a switch for this, but I think this controller is super cool, so we're gonna try to use it. I've got a 3D printed radio mount. I want to put my radio on the dash so that I can, again, reach everything, so we gotta bolt that to it. And we also have to get our fire extinguisher pull, all within reach, all on this panel. So at its base, what this looks like is we're gonna take this that I've already cut out a little bit, we're gonna cut an aluminum panel to fit the hole, and then we're gonna start trying to figure out where does this stuff go? Does it all even fit here, and can I reach it from the driver's seat? So, here in the car, we're gonna belt ourselves in, kind of, as if we're actually in the car. The suit actually adds a lot of bulk, so it's not gonna be exactly the same, but we can get a good idea of what we can reach and what we cannot reach. Like the steering wheel, see? Steering wheel on. We're basically belted into place here. So I work with my cool suit kind of a lot. So I think that needs to be right here. I really only need to mess with my radio to get the volume set right. And I will adjust the volume from time to time. So if I can reach up I get my cool suit there, oh, and I get the radio right there, I can reach that. What I was really hoping to do is put the radio above the cool suit cooler right here, but reaching that far up doesn't actually change very much as opposed to reaching out here. The second thing that I really wanted to do, and probably should be the first, is the fire pole needs to be as close and easy to get to as possible. But I think what I can do is put my cool suit controller here. I think I can put my radio mount over here, and I can get to it really easily. And then I can put the fire pole right here, and that puts everything within reach. I'm really not working too terribly hard to reach any of this stuff, so I think I can probably do whatever I want to. So now that we have a plan, I'm going to take this out, and we're just going to go straight to the bench, cut a plate, get started. I want to preface this work by saying I'm not a fabricator. I'm just going to chop some stuff up and see what happens. Alright, a whole bunch of cutting and a whole bunch of trying to figure it out. I had the worst time trying to get that aluminum cut. I tried a few different tools, as you can see, and almost none of them worked. My jigsaw was the best tool. I don't know why I didn't go straight to that, but whatever. Here's our plate. Doesn't look awesome. I'm not a fabricator, but it's going to work. So now we want to lay out our controller and our radio. And we're going to, like I said, we're going to stack them side by side right here so we have primary position left over for the fire extinguisher pull. And I think, I've been kind of fiddling with it here off camera, and I think we really want to do something like this. I want this to look as nice as I can while not being a fabricator. But I really think we're going to go with something like this. I've cut out a little template for the back of the thing, for the back of the controller, so we can get the hole cut, which is going to be a whole other thing, I imagine. That gets our stuff stacked up pretty nicely, and I think we're going to roll with that. So it'll go like that, and then we'll still have some space up here for small stuff if, you know, whatever arises. And really, the bigger key here is I'm going to be mounting this plate to this cover with riv nuts so I can remove it, throw it all away, and start over if we have to. I don't really want to do that, but that's what we might do. So I'm going to get this template drawn out on this thing so that we can start cutting. So that got out of hand. I cannot believe what a mess that jigsaw makes. What a ridiculous mess. Anyway, we've got a nice tight fit on our the hole that we made. We made a big hole here. We've got a nice tight fit on this thing. We've got a fit that is so tight. These little screws don't fit. I'm a great fabricator. Very, very good at this. I'm going to fix this real quick and easy though. And while I'm doing it, we get to talk about something pretty cool. This tool right here, it's a snap-on. You can tell because it says snap-on right there. Snap-on. You can see it. You can read it for sure. This is a tool that my dad bought many years ago that we ended up using every single day in the shop. I have it now because we finally got the time to go through and divvy up between my brother and I all of my dad's tools, which means I am flushed with outstanding tools. More on that later because I hear my phone ringing. 1 second. So anyway, sorry, not to be rude. My snap-on screwdriver, what was I talking about? Snap-on screwdriver, I have so many new tools and it's absolutely incredible. I love tools. Tools are incredible. Check, look at this. Look at this. Look at this hammer. It's got soft plastic faces on both ends, 2 different ends, and you can change them out. You can buy new ones, boop, without having to buy a new hammer, and snap-on. The snap-on hammer. Look at this hammer. This hammer is older than I am. It's not in great shape, but it's a cool hammer because it's brass face. You know, and there's gonna be a lot of people that talk a lot of crap about Snap-on. I get it, it's crazy expensive, but let me just tell you, at least back in the day, Snap-on tools, nothing like it. They are not like these other tools. It's not even the same tool. Holding a pair of side cutters and a pair of Snap-on side cutters, even just holding them, not the same tool, not at all. Anyway, I digress. We've got our controller put in the plate about where it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be pretty straight. And what we want to do now, I guess, what I want to do is mark these holes. I want to mount this controller where it's going to sit so that we can then start working on mounting this because we got to drill some holes in that too. So I'm going to mark these holes. Have I goofed up on marking the holes? I did. I goofed up on marking the holes. This thing is so convenient. It's crazy. It's one of those tools that feels crazy to buy because I'm sure it was wildly expensive, but you end up using it every single day and it makes little bitty, that took me 10 seconds to zip all those screws out. Can you imagine doing that by hand? No way. There's no shot. So let's drill these holes. I'm gonna do this super quick fashion. Let's just make it done. Okay, end of day 1. This is where we are. We got our plate cut out. We got our Cool Suit controller mounted in place. I'm actually kind of happy with how that came out. And we've got our radio mount ready to bolt into place. This looks great. And all of this mess will sit right up on top of this guy. And it'll sit in the car basically like that. Pretty much like that. Guys, it's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. The plate, it's bad. It's not good. This is the plate we made yesterday. This plate we spent half our day making yesterday. Spent half my day chewing on this plate, and last night brushing my teeth, I had an epiphany. Why did I do it like this? I don't know. I know better. I didn't make a template for this. I was over here trying to trace shapes and like measure to... It's not good. And as I was brushing my teeth, I thought, ugh. I think you gotta do it again. I spent half my day working on this yesterday, and it's not good. And I think you have to do it again. And so I did. And I'm way, way happier with the way this thing came out. I made a template. It matches the contours and shape of our dash plate way, way better. This is a much nicer plate. And the good news is, because it's my second time around, it only took me like an hour. You know, I spent half a day chewing on this piece of aluminum to get it to look at all good. Whip this up in about an hour. Really happy with this. I had to use some spacers to space the radio mount off the plate so that the clip had room to go down behind the mount. This is such a nice plate. This is way better and it fits beautifully. It lines right up and it fits straight in. It's awesome. That looks great. I'm really, really satisfied with this now. What we got to do now is figure out how we're going to mount the plate to the dash cover that we've got. I was planning to use some rib nuts. I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know if it's going to work, but that's where we are now. So we got to figure out how we're going to mount this to this, and then we can put the whole mess in the car and call it a project. Let me do some thinking and figure out how we're going to put this together. I'll be right back. Okay, and just like that, we've got a new panel. This thing looks so much better. I'm so happy I spent the extra hour or so this morning to cut out this new plate. It looks awesome. Everything's really solidly mounted. I'm stoked with the way this looks. My fire pole is front and center, priority location. I can reach everything. I belted myself in the car again. I can reach everything really nicely. The radio fits in here beautifully. Like, I am thrilled with this. I've got extra real estate here to put other things should it pop up. I don't really know what that would be. Maybe it's switches, maybe it's, I don't know, maybe I'll put some cool lights to look at during the race. I don't know. But I've got the space to do it, and this panel looks so much better than what was there before. I do have another idea. I think I can make this look a little bit better, actually, so I'm gonna do a little bit of polishing. I've got an idea. Just sit tight. Hold on. Doesn't that look better? Doesn't that look so much better? Look at this. Everything is mounted. Everything is in place. Everything is reachable. Everything is new. Everything looks better. This is awesome. Let's put it in the car and wrap this thing up. Look at that. That looks fantastic. Look at this. And we can reach everything. That is fantastic. We're getting too hot. Turn on the cooling. We're cooling. Radio's too loud.
Frequency.
Oh, shh, don't worry. Radio's too loud. We can turn it down. Fire. We can pull. That is fantastic. I love that. Wonderful. Wonderful. Love it. Big fan. Big fan, big fan, big fan. Well, y'all, we're going to end it right there. I've got a little bit of cable management to do. I've got some stuff to get to the solo over here. I've got the radio that I still have to deal with. So there's a little bit of cable management to do. But that's it. That's the bulk of what we were going to do. It looks fantastic. It's so much better. This was about getting all of the controls for the car in one central location, so it's cleaner throughout. It's better mounted. It's more permanently mounted. That was the goal here. And the fact that it looks fantastic is just a huge bonus. This season is going to be a lot of this sort of car development type situation. We're not going to go to the runoffs this year. We're going to take some time, develop the car, get it to a little bit of a better spot, and maybe we'll run next year. I don't know yet. We're just going to have some fun. We're going to do stuff like this that we've always wanted to do, and see where we see where it gets us. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this absolute masterpiece I've created right here, and I will see you guys in the next one.